Ready to log on and get started tonight. Okay. Welcome, everyone. My name is Rachel Garcia, and I'm going to be sharing some information with you tonight that I believe could be life-changing for you and your family. I first found out about the company that I'm going to be sharing information on back in 2008. And at the time, I was practicing medicine full-time as a physician assistant. Now, it's my goal to give you as much education in as small of amount of time as possible that you can make an educated decision about whether or not you're interested in learning more. My assumption is that somebody invited you to take a look at this who thought that it could impact you in a positive way. So I would encourage you to be sure that you ask them what their story is. Here's my story. In 2008, I was practicing medicine full-time as a PA. That was about 12 hours a day. I had been frustrated with the lack of time that I had and knew that multiple streams of income were wise. So my husband started a construction company in the end of 2007, and I opened a skincare retail store in 2008. We did that in addition to working our full-time jobs, and we had 2 small children under the age of 3. Well, in the summer of 2008, my nephew, the little red-haired, curly-headed guy there, was diagnosed with severe autism. This is my younger sister Leah's son. And I sat with her as the physician said, Bo will never speak. He will never have more than the mind of a 3-year-old. He will always be in an autistic program. He'll always be in diapers. And Bo didn't speak. He screamed all day long. I had a 9-month-old at the time, and I had a lot of questions. I have a master's degree in clinical medical sciences, so I began to do an extensive amount of research on autism, what it is, why did he have it? Is it from vaccinations? Is it genetic? And my research led me to understand the power of nutrition, which was really quite shocking to me because I did not learn about that in medical school. So I've since read this book called The Truth About Cancer, and now understand why I was taught about pharmacologic medications and the importance of writing prescriptions. And in the state of my career, I was writing 200 prescriptions a day when I wasn't in the OR cutting cancers out of people. So we started our organic garden. We got one of those big expensive juicers, but I had no time. And so my vegetables all went bad. And I decided I would need to supplement because I didn't have the time for this. So on the evenings and weekends, I would do my research to find out what supplements are best. What do we need? You can't grow omega-3s in your backyard anyways, but they're essential for brain function and potentially extremely important for someone who's been struggling with autism. And so I began supplementing, and I would do my research. I'd go to the health food store. The guy would always ask me, "Can I help you, ma'am?" He makes minimum wage. Don't take advice from him. And also be aware that when you're online at night doing this, what pops up first, if you're just Googling, is whatever that company has paid a marketing firm to get their stuff, whatever they're selling, to the top of the search engine. So be aware of that, guys. I was looking at Medscape. I was looking at clinical studies on what had been shown in studies to be the best. And so I had a huge supplement cabinet, as I'm sure most educated Americans have a cabinet that look like this. Some are still using gummy vitamins, but most have a cabinet that looks like this. They're trying this, for their plantar fasciitis, and this for their migraines, and this for their allergies, and this for their kids' allergies, and this for their sleeping issues. And we don't travel with it. If someone starts a cough in the house, you're like, oh, let me go find the vitamin C. You don't take it consistently. You can't really tell when there's results. And that was totally me. Okay. This is what I looked like in 2008 with the medicine cabinet full of supplements, with my organic juicer in my garden. And I knew my stuff. If you'd asked that girl in 2008, did she need any help with her health? Nope, I got it all under control. I was clearly struggling with weight. I was also struggling with sleep. My 3-year-old was struggling with horrible constipation at the age of 3. That's not good. But I thought I knew everything, and I wasn't really open to looking at anything. And I bring that up because daily I meet somebody who's like, yeah, I watched your presentation. I'm good. I don't need this information. Yet they go home in their medicine cabinets. They've got their Tums or their Advil PM or whatever it is that they're self-medicating with as a Band-Aid to kind of get by with their elbow pain or their hand pain or whatever issues they're struggling with. And I wasn't open to looking at this for any reason other than the people who called and asked me to look were my brothers. And they said, we trust your opinion. Will you just look at the nutrition side of this? And I agreed. I had no time for a business. I was not interested in the business, but I agreed to take a look. And when I did, I heard things like cleanse your bodies of the toxins, get as alkaline as you possibly can by pouring plant-based nutrition in. And I knew it was truth. And then I heard that they'd used it in a clinical practice for 30 years with patients. And I said, That is much better than me looking at websites and looking at medical studies in the evenings. And so I called my brothers in the morning and I said, I'm in. Give me everything they got. Because overnight I'd started comparing. I was looking at their omega-3s. I'm looking at what they've got. Oh, this is much better than what I'm using. And I'm looking at their vitamin and I'm looking at their calcium. And I find their skin defense that you can spray on your hands that kills everything rather than using hand sanitizer. And I'm finding all this stuff. Like, this is really good. This is really good. I'm in. Give me all of it. I want the best bang for my buck. I have a family of 4 plus my sister and her son. I want the best bang for my buck. I got what they call a family package. 6 weeks later, not 6 weeks later, I'm sorry, 3 months later, I'd lost 32 pounds. Now, people were asking me about this, but that wasn't the dramatic thing. My sleep resolved. My sleep issues resolved in a week. My son's constipation issues resolved in a week. My husband also had a massive physical transformation, but it was the mental issues he was struggling with that resolved in 6 weeks. His transformation was in 6 weeks. Anger issues, depression issues, gone. Marriage saving, life changing. And then my nephew came in that Christmas and said, Aunt Rachel, what a beautiful Christmas tree. And we'd never heard him speak. Literally just all of a sudden speaking in fluid sentences. It was like he'd had duct tape over his mouth and it had been taken off. And now he could communicate with us. And that was my moment when it wasn't just about pooping or sleeping or weight loss or depression. Like, this is life changing. This is him. My niece's wedding last weekend. He is now going to the same high school I went to, getting A's and B's. The doctor was wrong. And so I am here to educate you on something that I believe can be life-changing for your future and for the future of your family and the people that you care about. I now believe with all of my heart that the majority of the health issues we face are the result of us being toxic, out of balance, and lacking in nutrition. We're drinking out of plastic water bottles. Our food is being sprayed with herbicides, pesticides, fungicides by guys in hazmat suits, and we're eating it. I've been nuking our food for decades, sticking it in plastic containers with saran wrap on top and putting it in the microwave. Studies have shown that the majority of Americans have microparticles of plastic in their bloodstream. We're wondering why cancer rates have gone like this over the last 30 years, not to mention all the other issues we struggle with regarding our health. We're out of balance. This great book called The China Study is one of the largest human population studies ever done. And there's a lot to be said about what you're feeding your body. It all comes down to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, according to this book. Why are some people sick in their 80s and others are doing really well? It has to do with what they're eating. One group is eating plants, and more plants. The other group is eating meat, dairy, sugar, soda, coffee, bread. They're throwing all these acidic things into their body. Their body has to work really hard to get back to this place. So you're either helping it be in the pH that it's supposed to be in, or you're hurting it. And so this all made sense to me, and which is why I'm educating on it now. We're lacking in nutrition. I mean, this is it's a fact. Go into any local kids' lunchroom and you will see what I'm talking about. The Journal of Nutrition came out recently saying more than half of American children are not getting the nutrition that they should be getting. This study from 12 years ago, this is for those of you who think, oh, you can get it all from food. No, you can't. 12 years ago, they showed you have to eat 8 oranges, 80 cups of spinach, 99 ears of corn, and 2 cups of wheat to get what our grandparents got from one of each of those things. Look at the calories there. Think of how expensive 80 cups of spinach would be. No wonder we're struggling with an obesity pandemic in our country. Okay. So what is Pure? Ultra Pure. Pure is this philosophy of cleanse, balance, and build. But what it is the best of the best of health and nutrition delivered to your door with the click of a button. I knew what the best was. I was doing my research. I was buying the best, but we were seeing no results. I started comparing what I have to this. I knew their message of cleanse, balance, build was true. I recognized that they used it with patients for 30 years. I said, I'm in. Give me everything they've got. I want it all. It was saving me time. That's why I got started with Pure. No intention of ever telling anybody, because who talks about their vitamins? I'm not a salesperson. I would have patients come into my office and try to sell me candles and weight loss shakes and all kinds of stuff. No, I see patients for a living. I spent 8.5 years on my education, $100,000 on my education. I'm not selling bags or candles or bracelets. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But when I began to see what can happen when you cleanse, balance, and build people with plant-based nutrition, it all goes back to Genesis 1:29. The oldest book of wisdom says it all comes from the ground. I said, I've got to share this with others. This is how it started in a clinic. They had a 3-year waiting list for people to get in to get these results. And they decided, well, people shouldn't have to wait 3 years to get this information. We're going to just pay people Instead of taking a marketing fund and buying shelf space at Whole Foods or paying a marketing firm to do billboards and commercials and radio ads and hope that strangers hear the radio while they're driving down the road and decide to come buy our stuff, we're just going to do it based on people talking to people that know them. If I'd walked into Whole Foods and seen a flyer for our Mila, I would not have bought it. I am only here because someone that I loved asked me to take a look at it. People ask all the time, what makes you different? First, I'll just tell you the results. They have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Like, our stuff works, okay? But we have multiple medical doctors who are on our wellness advisory panel who recommend this to their patients. Many of our products are in the physician's desk reference. It's this philosophy of cleanse, balance, build, the centuries-old philosophy that is so fantastic. That's what it's all about. Now, the company has over 50 products: sports line, immune booster, super fruits. We have a neuro boost for your brain with specific vitamins that have been shown to help your brain work better. If you struggle with memory, like, oh, it's powerful. We have an eye line. Like, we have a lot of things, okay? But over the years, what I've learned in 15 years is I want you, if you get started, when I check in on you in 2 weeks, to say, I feel amazing. And so in 30 days, we found that people feel amazing when they start with the starter package. If they just start with 1 or 2 things, like when we've gone to those bracelet parties, like, just buy a bracelet and support you. This is not that. This is a starter pack that does it all. It cleanses the 7 channels you eliminate through your lungs, your liver, your skin, your lymphatic system, kidneys, blood, and intestines all need to be cleansed. We've got fiber that goes through the intestinal tract. What insoluble fiber has been shown to do in decades: cleanse out that intestinal tract. Soluble fiber has been shown for decades to be huge for things like blood pressure, cholesterol, triglyceride issues. This book called The Aztec Diet, written by best-selling author Dr. Bob Arnott, the entire book is case studies of people who ate that purple bag of Mila for weight loss and hemoglobin A1C and sugar levels and cholesterol and triglycerides. Fiber. Okay, but omega-3s and fiber, whew, that's a powerful combination. Omega-3s are essential. Your brain does not function properly without them. It also naturally decreases inflammation. We don't make omega-3s. We have to consume them. And no one is consuming enough omega-3s. Your kids need them from the time they're infants. They need omega-3s. We have that in our starter package. We have the perfect combination of calcium, magnesium, vitamin K, vitamin D, plant-based, non-dairy, no soy. None of the bad stuff is in any of our products. Sulfur that decreases inflammation. Goyen, which I call wine without the alcohol. If you struggle with anxiety, is there a rager in your house? They're mad all the time and you don't know why and they don't know why? Goyen. The most comprehensive multivitamin you'll find on the planet in our daily build. This is our starter package. If you're over 40 or struggling with health, taking prescription medications for specific things, I don't care if we're talking about libido, cholesterol, neck pain, rheumatoid arthritis, allergies, asthma, eczema, migraines, I don't care. You need to look at the Core Plus. This is different superfruits that have been, the Core Complete. Different superfruits that have been used for thousands of the years in the areas where they're grown. So noni comes from the Polynesian islands. A lot of companies will powder it down, ship it over here because it's cheaper, hydrate it with who knows what, and then add some pear and apple juice to it. I don't want to be buying pear and apple juice. I can buy that anywhere. I want noni. This is 100% wildly harvested noni. Mangosteen, goji, acai comes from the areas where they're grown, brought here. You can go look up the clinical studies on each of these superfruits that have been done in the US for the last 3 decades. It's the first thing I did when I found out about it. Why would I buy this noni instead of the Whole Foods noni? Why would the medical doctors that I'm working with buy this instead of what they can find elsewhere? Because it works, because it's better, because it's pure. This is high quality ingredients, not ingredients made in massive quantities where the quality is diluted. High quality ingredients, pure, high concentration. These are the 6 things people typically notice in the first 30 days of using our Core Complete system: better sleep, more energy, less pain, better bowels, better mood, weight loss. I want you to think about it like taking your body in for a servicing. We take our cars in for servicing, right? My car is going right now. It's 500 miles till servicing. That's what it's saying. There's signs that your car, needs to be serviced, right? The tires are going a little low, windshield wipers running out, fluids running out. Maybe it's like the gas mileage isn't as good. The seat belt gets stuck. My massage thing on the left side of my driver's side isn't working. Like, there's things that I need to go in for. What are the symptoms in our bodies? We're not sleeping well. We're tired all the time. Our hair's falling out. Our nails are brittle. We're bloated. We have pain in our hands. We can't figure out what it's from. All kinds of little things start, right? What do? I need to go to the doctor. What do? We check your lab results. We draw some labs, right? X-rays, labs, MRIs, whatever. And then we usually write a prescription. And I was writing 200 of them at the height of my career. I'm not anti-medicine. I'm not anti the doctor. We just overuse it here. My boys go to the pediatrician once a year for their sports physicals because we have to have those papers for them to be able to wrestle and play soccer, right? The doctor's like, see you in 12 months because we're never in there. I don't know what's going to happen for you, but I know what it's done for our family. And a lot of people get overwhelmed, like, this is a lot. Well, I'm going to show you a few more things. And then you'll really starting to want the family pack, because the family pack includes the sports line. What happens when you begin to get your body serviced? Most people buy one of our starter packs, they feel these results in 30 days, and then they go forward with their 2 to 4 products that they love. The average American is already supplementing, okay? They know they should be. But I want you to think about something. This is your most important asset. It's more important than your phone or your car or your house, yet most of us treat those things better, right? We'll get a new roof, we'll paint the outside, we'll get new pavers outside, thousands and thousands of dollars on something we're not even going to live in our whole life most of the time. You live in this your whole life. It deserves a servicing every once in a while, right? At that time, there was 6 people in my house. Everybody deserved a servicing. So I got the family pack so everybody could get that servicing so their body could start to work the way it was supposed to work. Thank God I did. Because if I just got it for me, I lost 3 pounds my first month. I lost the 29 pounds months 2 and months 3. My husband's changes didn't come till the 6-week mark. My nephew's changes didn't come till the 3-month mark. But if you continue going and pouring this nutrition in, you've done what you've done to your body for decades. Give it some time. Pour the nutrition. You start to have loads of energy, guys. I'm reading these studies on what happens when people start to hit their 50s and 60s, and they're still doing cardio sometimes, right? But they're tired because they're getting older. Well, just so you know, 50 is middle age. It's not old, okay? It's like middle age. You're not even in the prime of your life yet, but the muscle loss, the sarcopenia that starts to happen because they're not active is huge. Pure gives you energy, and now instead of barely making it to the mailbox, you're walking around the block. And yes, I hear these testimonies all the time. Strength training is huge for building up the muscles so we don't have to worry about falls for our grandparents and our parents in their 60s and 70s when they go into the hospital with a broken hip and don't come out. Okay, so building up the muscle is huge. We have some specific products for building up the muscle, like our Metabolic Max and our Sports Line. If you have teenage boys trying to get out of that tiny phase and try to put some muscle on, this is my son over a year. I think this is a 1.5 year period of time. He now has 34,000 followers on TikTok because of his transformation that he has done by consuming these products and going to the gym. We have a beauty product, the Me Collagen Pro. I just had mine. That's got probiotic, collagens, biotin, huge for the skin, hair, nails, leaky gut. A lot of women are already buying these 3 things separately. This is a money saver, but it's pure, high quality, high concentration, and is absorbed within 18 minutes in your bloodstream. One of the big questions people ask is, well, how do I get it in my kids? Well, since my children were toddlers, this is what I did every morning. Myself or my husband, and people are like, oh gosh, that's so much work. I don't want to do it. You think this is work? Did you hear the testimony from the call at 12 o'clock this afternoon? Getting the calls from the teachers for the bad grades and the disturbances in school and the not ability to concentrate and the aggression and the struggling with the constipation. That's work. This is not work. We are their parents. It's our job to get the nutrition in them, not the teacher's job, not the doctor's job. It's our job. And I'm handing it to you on a platter. And I'll tell you, if you're giving your kids some sort of a vitamin, a gummy vitamin, and you cannot tell when they take it and you can't tell when they don't, you need to consider making a switch. Because you should be able to tell when you take your stuff. You should be able to tell when your kids take their stuff. My kids voluntarily take their stuff. This is the calcium, the daily build, the super fruits. You see the capsule there is our immune boosters because this is during the pandemic last year. You'll see him eating a Mila muffin in just a moment. Mila looks like pepper, tastes like nothing. You can add it to anything, muffins, waffles, French toast. I used to do Rice Krispie treats back in the day, pancakes. You can put it in anything. Muffins are a mainstay in our house. And again, I know it's my responsibility to get that nutrition. That my boys are now 15 and 18. I don't have control over what they eat much longer. So I have tried really hard for 15 years. We do a lot of smoothies in our house. Once you decide to start purchasing our products, you get added to some pages where lots of trainers are teaching and educating on how to consume these products and what the best thing is to get it into different kinds of people. If you're struggling with weight, you know you eat too much, you know you drink too much, you know you need to make a change. I hit my 40s, guys, and the weight started to creep back on. And I would try to cut back on what I ate, and I would try to work out twice a day, and I could not lose it. I don't know what, and it's now I know it's called perimenopause, but I was slowly slowing down my metabolism though, because I was just trying not to eat all this intermittent fasting stuff. Enter Pure's metabolic reset, and my gosh, the weight fell off of me. But I did something totally different. I started eating within 30 minutes of waking up. I ate every 3 hours, and I followed the system that they have in place, which includes the entire Core Complete, some metabolism boosters, some fat burners. We tell you exactly what to eat and when to eat, and it is fantastic. It's a 6-week program. The first 7 days is literally just the Core Complete. So you're just adding that on to whatever you're typically doing, normally doing now. And then we start on the second week to kind of start to tell you what to eat, when to eat. And what I've heard from people is, I've never eaten so much food and lost weight. I've never felt deprived once on this entire plan. And what's so great is if you fall off for a couple days, it's really easy to jump back on, and you usually don't gain weight when you fall off. And people oftentimes say, what happens at the end of the 6 weeks? Well, you go back to whatever you were doing before, but you're training yourself to eat every 3 hours, and you're feeding your body properly. So it is an absolutely amazing program. We just finished a challenge. We saw 15 to 20 pound weight loss for the participants in the challenge over a 6-week period of time, and a $500 giveaway happened at the end, and we're about to start another challenge. So again, the whole Core Complete system, plus some of our greens, our vegan shake, the shakes you use as a snack, not as a meal replacement. So again, you eat a lot of food. All right, so what is Pure? Pure is the best of the best. Best of the best in health, third-party verified, FDA manufacturing facilities. It comes in from all over the country to these fantastic facilities where it's then packaged up and given to you. It is a click of a button delivered to your house. So before I go any further, I'm going to bring my friend Ansley up, who I'll should tell you her story. Has probably, I'm going to guess, she's been using it about 4 months now, and has an absolutely amazing story, although I don't see her name on here. Scott, I'm hoping that it's you. It's her husband who I'm pulling up, not Ansley. So you're going to get to hear Scott and Ansley share what their experience with Pure has been. And I try to do this because you don't know me, right? And so I'm going to show you a place where you can see lots of testimonies, but I also want you to be able to hear from these guys as well, and know that there's a lot more testimonies just like them. What's really funny is they live in the back of my neighborhood. These guys live like 100 yards from me. And well, it's not pulling him up. I'm trying, Scott. These guys live like 100 yards from me, and or maybe not 100 yards, maybe 200 yards. And I did not even know that they existed. But for some reason, it's not letting me pull you guys up, which I've never had that happen before. We're going to try a few more times. And then if I can't get it, we're just going to have to try to get them on at the end. Let me just give me one more second. Try something here. Oh, this is unusual. Oh, Scott and Ansley, you guys are so great. I think it's a total bummer that I can't pull you up. So I've been doing these all day long, and I never have had a problem pulling somebody up to a panelist. But I'm just going to have to try again at the end. Oh, wait, I think they're coming on. There they are. They're coming on. Okay. On the recording, I'll have to take that part out. All right, guys, let's see here. Ask to start the video, ask to unmute. There you are. Hi. Hi, Ansley. I can't hear you. I'm hoping I can hear you. Go ahead and say something.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, good. All right, take it away.
Okay. Sorry about that. Technological difficulties. So thank you so much for inviting us to be part of this live webinar tonight. I am really excited to talk about our story because I just really think Pure is one of the best things I've ever done. And I want to share it with everybody. So I want to start by saying my journey started a long time ago. I had problems with my thyroid, autoimmune issues run in my family, and I've always struggled with my thyroid since I was 17. But in 2013, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and I went through a year-long bout with radiation and 2 surgeries, and they took my thyroid, so I don't have that anymore. So that has its own host of problems. And then in 2016, I was then again shocked to be diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, and went through chemo, radiation, chemo again, and lost 20% of my colon, which comes with its own digestive issues and a lot of fun. So needless to say, I suffer from a lot of autoimmune and digestive disorders. And I think the biggest thing, aside from just being tired and a lot run down, and a lot of things that people with a lot of autoimmune disorders struggle with, is that I was thrown straight into menopause at the age of 41 after radiation. And I was not expecting that. And no one I knew was going through anything that I had gone through. And the worst part of being thrown into menopause, I thought, was the hot flashes. I was publicly embarrassed all the time because I would look like I was melting. And that's really embarrassing when you see, when your students, if you're a teacher, see that happen, your friends see it happen. It kind of, we made a joke about it, but it was really embarrassing to me. And I really wanted a way to kind of fix that, being tired, being run down, having the hot flashes. And I was also on a Facebook group with a lot of people with colon cancer. And I noticed that there was this dramatic uptick in the amount of people my age, and not just my age, but younger, who were being diagnosed with colon cancer, colon problems. And there is a reason that colonoscopies are starting at 45 now. It used to be 70, 65. It's something that you did when you were older, and now it's 45, 40. My daughter is going to have one at 30. And that, it's not a coincidence that's happening. It's what we're putting in our bodies. And I really started to think about how that was happening. So my wonderful friend Jen Von Hagen, who I really hope you guys got to see at 12 o'clock because her story is really amazing, introduced me to Rachel. I heard all the amazing things Rachel had to say, and it just really spoke to me at my core. I really understood what the whole program was about. I understood what she was saying. I really respected her passion for what she was doing. And I just came home and I could not stop thinking about the products, what they were doing for people, people's testimonies, and what was happening. And I was like, that's it. I have to take control of my own health. I'm getting the core complete. So I did the core complete and started taking that. It came so fast, and I started taking it, and I felt changes so quickly that within a week I took Scott back with me to hear Rachel and what she had to say. And I was like, do you understand what I'm trying to tell you now? And he was like, absolutely. And we went in with the family pack. We were like, I want everything. I want the GPS line. I want all the products. I never want to run out of them. I want to make sure my family has them. I want my daughter to start taking them. And we started our business with Pure because everybody should have the opportunity to take care of themselves as well as we are getting to now. And drastic changes. Scott will tell you about his little inner fat kid that loves to eat sugar. And I realized one night, I looked at him and was like, do you realize you don't even crave sugar anymore? You don't need it. You don't want it. And he had not realized the changes that were happening for him, for me. I had plantar fasciitis. I got comfortable with being in pain for 2 years. Who does that? But I got comfortable with it and it was gone. My hot flashes were gone. And that was really interesting to me because I was like, I don't think I've had a hot flash in a while. And the only explanation is Pure. And I know it's all the things that I'm taking. I take the super fruits every day. I don't know what I would do without them. I take all the core products. I love the GPS. I have energy. My workouts are amazing. I'm not run down. People around me have been sick. I'm a teacher. Everybody's sick right now. And I feel amazing. And I think one of the most powerful things that I can impart is something I learned going through 2 cancers, is that I really learned how to advocate for myself. And I think Pure is one of the best ways, because you have to care unapologetically for your own health. You have to be unapologetic about it. And you have to be unapologetic about telling other people that they should care for their own health. And that is what Pure does. It allows you to be unapologetic about feeling better in yourself and sharing that with other people. So I can't say enough about it. I can't tell you how good I feel, and I can't thank you and Jen enough for bringing me in and helping me start on this journey and helping my family feel better. So
you're so welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out tonight, Ansley, to share. And I will also tell you guys, our children actually knew each other. They were both in plays together. They did theater together, and we did not know each other. And she did not find out about Pure from our children. She found out about Pure from our now mutual friend, Jen. So story after story after story like that, you guys. I'm so glad that you got to hear that story. And again, it's the best of the best that you can find in health and nutrition with the click of a button. You can go to purelifechangers.com to hear more testimonies, to hear the doctors educating on the products. Some of you are watching this on this site now. There's a little search box on there. Click it and type in whatever ailment you're struggling with that you would like to see resolution with, and you'll see other testimonies, like Ansley's. Now, if you're not on this site, ask the person who invited you to add you to this site. It is a page with over 10,000 members now where testimonies are being shared daily. Okay, so you can go shopping at livepure.com. You go to that website, you throw what you want into your shopping cart, whether it's the Core Complete or the Reset Plus or the Family Pack. You can also mix and match and do the super fruits and the immune boosters, whatever you want, and then go to checkout. Pricing. Core Complete is a little over $10 a day for 30 days. It's your servicing on your body instead of your car. This is your house, your whole life. It deserves a servicing. If that's a little too much for you, $289 is what the Core Plus is. That's my minimum recommendation starting point. It's a little bit under $10 a day for your servicing. Reset Plus is for 2 people to do 6 weeks of the reset. It's fantastic. $14.99. Again, if you've got a sister, a mom, a spouse, somebody that will do this with you, it's a great thing to go in together for. And you can, again, just go to livepure.com, throw what you want in the shopping cart, and then go check out. But while you're checking out, it's going to say, do you want to save money and join as a preferred customer? Yes. You want 25% off. There's no fee to be a preferred customer, and there's no obligation to purchase again. Although we've found that of 100 people who start with the starter package, the Core Plus or the Core Complete, 93 of them repurchase. And it's actually been proven to me twice in the last week that the 7 who don't repurchase never even open the box that they get. So open the box and get onto our training site where we teach you exactly how to consume the products and how to use the products. You may also, though, decide that you want to be an independent business owner. So if you saw that $289 and you cringed and you're like, oh, it's too much for me, I can't really afford that. I don't care how old you are. If you can't afford $289 for something you want to buy, you need to listen to what I'm about to share with you. If you've been thinking so-and-so needs to hear this, you need to listen to what I'm about to share with you. If you're a huge fan of multiple streams of income, if you're an entrepreneur, there's no better way to make extra money than this business model. In fact, in Europe, in the UK, in Asia, it's known as the best way to make additional streams of income. Here, we frown on it. Why? I don't know why we do. I don't know why I've been trying to figure it out, but I'm a huge promoter of this business model. And it's one of my goals in sharing this with others is not only to help you achieve the life that you want. I will tell you, it's not easy to have multiple streams of income. While I was in the OR working for 12 hours and my kids are with somebody else calling them nanny, I'm thinking, how am I ever going to get out of this situation I worked myself into? 8.5 years of schooling, $100,000 of education, making great money as a PA, but never seeing my kids. How am I ever going to get out? I've got to find other streams of income. Right? Is it laundromats? Is it car washes? Is it vending machines? What is it? And I opened a skincare retail store. So I've done other businesses. I invested $50,000 in that. I had to hire employees. One of them, I had to teach how to use a computer, the taxes, the paperwork, the overhead. My husband started a construction company. Oh my gosh, that we could not rely on to pay our mortgage. And so the ups and the downs of the business, we've done that. I didn't think this was a business because it was so cheap. Ansley mentioned her friend Jen, who spoke with me this afternoon and shared her son's testimony. Jen owns a marketing company. This is Cheap. If you're an entrepreneur, this is the cheapest business you've ever started. It is a brilliant business model. Tony Robbins and Richard Branson have gone on record saying it's the best business model to get started and to create additional streams of income. All we do is invite people to take a look at what we're doing. You don't have to do a presentation. You don't have to read this book. You don't have to know why this Mila is different from a bag of chia. I do all that for you. We have a system in place that you literally get inserted into, and then you can on your phone do all of the trainings. What are you doing right now that if you spend 30 minutes a day on it, 5 days a week, it will pay you weekly checks for the rest of your life? What are you doing now that will do that? We found that most people start creating those checks within 6 months. Some of them it takes a year. Some of them it takes 5 years. Some of them never make those weekly checks. Why? Well, because they don't spend 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Maybe they spend 30 minutes a day for 3 days, and then they disappear for 3 months. And then they go, how am I not making any money in that business? If you worked at Starbucks and you showed up for 3 days and then didn't come back for 3 months, you would not be making any money at Starbucks. It's business. It's work. But when you invest $150,000 in a franchise, you show up. You go every single day. It is your heart and soul. You are handcuffed to that business until you get your income back, your money back that you invested. Here, most people make their money back within a couple of weeks, and they're actually making their health investment. They invested in their health, and they're making that money back. And now everything else is positive. We teach you how to invite. Hey, Beth, I found something I think could be right up your alley. I'm going to send you a link. Can you get on tomorrow at 12? No, I can't get on at 12. I'm at lunch meeting tomorrow. What about 8 o'clock tomorrow night? Well, I could probably swing that. What's it about? I can't explain it, but I'm telling you, I know you, and I think this might be right up your alley. If I send you a link, will you get on tomorrow night at 8? That is the invite. That's the invite. I did that call every single day on the way to work when I was going to see patients starting at 7:30 in the morning. One call every day. And on the way home, did you get on? Did you watch it? What did you think? Half the time they didn't answer when I called them back. I didn't care. I'm like the lady with the coffee in the breakfast shop. Would you like some coffee? Would you like some coffee? If somebody says, no, the coffee's not for me, no, thank you, I don't want it. I don't throw the coffee mug down and run out screaming, this job's not for me. No, I just keep asking everybody. Heck, I feel bad. I didn't tell Ansley myself when our kids were in the theater program together. Shame on me. I have a new dentist on my team who loves the products. I can't wait for you guys to hear her testimony. And she only found out about it because I send out parent messaging because I'm the senior representative at our children's school. And my email is rachel@purelifechangers.com. She was struggling with autoimmune issues. She was buying all these books and reading them all and going vegan. She sees my email and she's like, oh, Rachel does something. Let me go look that up. And because of that, not only did she come with a family package after spending a day on purelifechangers.com, she's since purchased 4 of them. Her whole family's on it, and she's off all the medications she was on. Shame on for not telling her myself. But thankfully, I sent her an email about senior pictures, and she got my email address. All we do is invite people to take a look. I didn't even say anything to her. She just went to purelifechangers.com because she was looking. We don't know who's looking. People don't walk around with signs that say, I have plantar fasciitis. It's not going away. My son hasn't pooped in 5 days and I don't want to give him Miralax. I need $500 extra every single month or I'm going to lose my car. We don't know what people are struggling with. So we just have to say, take a look. Just to give you some brief numbers, if 10 customers order 3 to 4 products a month, you'll make $400 a month. 20 customers ordering 3 to 4 products a month, $1,000 a month. Not life-changing. For most people, not life-changing. For me, not life-changing. But this check started to come in. It started to surpass what I made in my skincare store. Oh my gosh. And that skincare store took so much work. This was a call a day, call at night. Call a day, call at night. Checks start coming in. Checks start growing. Checks start growing. Checks start matching what I'm making as a PA, which was more than most doctors made. Checks start surpassing what I made as a PA. And unlike being a PA where people are always like, oh, is there a basal cell on my face? How big is the hole going to be? They don't want to see you, right? I don't want to take the steroid pack. Do I have to? I always get swollen when I take that. Unlike that, these people are like Ansley, like, thank you so much. They love me. I'm helping them. And you all know deep down that nutrition is the answer to your health. There's just so many answers. It's hard to figure out. So many people talking, what's the right answer? Go back to invited you and ask them what their story is. You guys could have a global business that literally pours money into your bank account while you sleep. Do you know 2 people who might share this with others? Let me show you how it works. I always put vending machines here because I'm like, these are my vending machines. In the beginning, I just sold products and I made money, not a lot, but money here and there. I showed you 400, 1,000, made money. Yeah, that's great, right? But then I would tell Aunt Betty, and Aunt Betty used to not be able to even walk to the mailbox. Now she's doing laps around her neighborhood. She's pooping every day. She's strong. She's happy. Everybody's like, what are you doing, Betty? And she starts telling them, well, now Betty's a vending machine and Betty's making her own money and I'm getting a commission, a percentage of all of her checks. And then Betty tells someone, and then Frank tells someone. So let's say I bring Frank and Susan in, okay? And then I keep telling people, because that's what I do. And I put Beth on Frank's team. Frank works a full-time job. He gets an email when he gets home at night. He goes, this person Beth and this person Leah joined my team. Who are they? I don't even know them. I didn't even tell anybody. Yeah, Frank, I keep telling people. Whether you're going to tell people or not, I'm telling people. Okay? So Frank could sit there for 2 years and I'm just going to keep putting people on his team because I have nowhere else to put them. All going on Frank's team. What does that mean? It means I'm building a check for Frank. But when he wakes up, if he ever does, and decides to share this with others, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, do it consistently, watch the checks pour in, he will begin to cash in on the money that from Beth's orders, Leah's orders, Brenda's orders. Susan's the first person on my other team. I only have 2 teams. Everybody underneath Susan, she's going to benefit from those orders, whether she shares now or shares later. Why do most people fail? And most people do fail at this. It's one of the reasons why network marketing has a bad name. People don't like the work. Number one, it's the same thing as gyms. Why do people join the gym in January and they're not going in February? Why do people fail at diets? This isn't the Peloton. This isn't a weight workout. This isn't doing burpees. This is a phone call every day on the way to work. You do get a little bit of training in those 30 minutes the first week or two, and then you start calling. Some people say, heck, 30 minutes, I'm calling for 3 hours today if I can make more money. If you think of each phone call being equivalent to $50, how many phone calls would you make every day? Right? I've got people like that who are like, I'm gonna call as many as I can, right? But most people fail because they don't do the work. They're not coachable. They do their own thing, right? I've sold Xerox copies my whole life. I know how to sell. They go sell it the way they think they should sell it. Totally different from this. I've been doing this 15 years, guys. I know what works and doesn't work. We have a system, my system you can plug into. You don't have to go figure out your own way. Okay, but they do. They try to figure out their own way. That doesn't work. And then they say, this doesn't work. I'm out. 30 minutes, 5 days a week, doing exactly what I teach you to do. Okay, can you do that? I believe everybody can do that. My kids can do that, and they are. My kids will never work for somebody else, making somebody else money, trading their hours for dollars. There's no cap to what you can make here. You can make whatever you want. The most you can spend is $2,569. And right now we have these 4 coupons. Did I lose them? We have 4 coupons to give to anybody who comes in with these first 2 packages I'm going to talk about. Don't think about spending $2,500 on a nutrition product. Think about buying a business for $2,500. So there's no extensive amount of contracts and royalty fees and overhead and a lease on a shopping plaza. You're buying your family's health. With this, you get in my mentoring program. Now I have a training program everybody gets, but the mentoring VIP program, this is for the family pack. This is for the people who come with the big one. All right, 30-day satisfaction guarantee and the ability to earn my VIP trips. Plus you get in the company star bonus program, which is just extra money. The Reset Plus is the next level down, $1,500. With this, it goes down to $1,200, okay? And with both of these, you get 4 of these that you then get to go and give to your sister and your brother and your pharmacist and whoever it is that you invite to watch that says, I'm interested in learning more, okay? $500 in free product, and that last package had $1,500 of free product in it. You also get in the company's bonus program here. You get my training, but not the VIP mentorship, all right? You can come in with any package. Let me be clear on that. If you come in with the Core Plus for $289, pay $49 for the business builder fee. Okay. And you're going to get free shipping with the Reset Plus and the family package. You'll pay for your shipping in the Core Plus, but you'll get into our training. You won't get these though. You think it's easier to build a business with these or without them? If you're coming in for the business, you want these. All right. We've traveled the world with Pure. Prior to Pure, we didn't travel at all. I'm from a family with no money. We went to Disney World with my kids and we went to the mountains. We've been to Australia. I literally climbed that bridge and I stayed in a hotel with a view of the Opera House. But we had no team members with us on this trip. So after that, and 2 trips to Hawaii, 1 trip to not to Bora Bora, but to Spain and to France, we said, we're going to start helping people earn these trips. And so we did. We started taking people with us on the trips. We started this system that is duplicating. We've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people earn free trips. We've helped thousands of people earn weekly checks. This was over 50 people we helped earn a trip to Italy earlier this year. We stayed at the Grand Excelsior up on the top of the hill, the nicest 5-star resort in the entire area. And our company paid for us to go. It's their way of saying thank you so much to all of these people for opening your mouth and sharing it with others. We're going to Greece in September of 2023. Won't you join us? really good at helping people earn trips. My friends Kristen and Skip have had their lives changed forever. Kristen's been able to spend the last 4 years with her daughters, her teenage daughters, because of Pure. Prior to that, she was out of the house 150 days out of the year. Josh and Ashley were in serious credit card debt, paid that off 6 weeks after starting in Pure, and then started to create a residual income, a passive income that they then used to buy 12 real estate properties that are now paying them more passive income. I watched them do that and I was like, start doing that. Most of my positive cash flow I put back into my team, but now I've started doing real estate as well. So if you've ever thought I want to get involved in other businesses, we're really big on that here. Pay off your debt, build up your savings, and then start putting it towards other things that are other passive cash flow. When I met David, or when I shared this with David and Lindley, David was excited about paying off a truck. He said, I'm going to pay off a truck this summer. I'll have an extra $500 a month. And I looked at him and said, you're foolish if you don't look at what I'm doing. Because $500 a month, yeah, you're going to blow that away. And they did. 4 months later, they called me and said, we're having an argument about the check this week, their weekly checks. It's either 5,000 or it's 500. And I looked at it and I said, it's 5,500. Lindley called 50 people, asked them to take a look. 3 of the 50 decided to run with me. And we built a massive business. Most people don't make that kind of money. Most people don't have that happen to them. Okay, I don't know who you know. You might have gotten out of jail last year and nobody's going to listen to your phone call. I don't know. I know that you can change your level of influence as time goes by. I know that if you work and you do the proper activities the way we teach you to do them, it might take you 5 months, it might take you 5 years. What else are you doing right now that if you put 30 minutes a day and 5 days a week will pay you a weekly check for decades to come? I've traveled the world with Will and Susan. I did not know them. I told someone who's no longer here, who told someone who's no longer here, who told Will and Susan. I'm going to be at their house for the 7th time in Montana in 2 weeks, staying with them for a week. We're traveling and doing multiple meetings throughout Montana. They've been to Italy, Bora Bora, and Hawaii on Pure's dime. Life-changing. We have loads of health testimonies, anxiety, migraines. Dr. Paula is a medical doctor in New Jersey. She was struggling with weight. I didn't even have to talk to her for 3 minutes. And she said, I'm in, give me the family pack. If you're practicing medicine over 10 years, you know medicine's changed. We're looking for the answers and we know it's not prescriptions. So many changes in so many people's lives, whether you're dealing with rheumatoid arthritis, whether you're dealing with diabetes, type 1 or type 2, whether you're dealing with vitamin D levels that are low, migraines, insomnia. I don't know what you're dealing with, but I know I can probably help. I do know this, if you don't change, nothing's going to change. So my encouragement to you is get back to the person who invited you. Let them know what your thoughts are. Don't go into the witness protection program, guys. Don't do that. It's pretty powerful what we have here, but we don't chase people down. We just believe if we're loud and we share the message, the people that are meant to hear the message will hear it. And so I'm believing that today for you, that if it's meant for you, you will hear it and you will get your questions answered. I'm going to stay on afterwards and answer questions. I do this twice a day, Monday through Thursday, noon and 8 p.m. Eastern, and then Friday at noon, Saturday at noon, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, all the way through December 16th. We're about to start another reset challenge. So if you're interested in jumping on board to that reset challenge, it's probably going to start next Monday, which what is that? Like the 21st? It's probably going to start on Monday. So yeah, the 21st, get it today. It gets shipped. If you order tonight, it'll be shipped on Thursday. You'll probably get it Saturday. That's how fast it's shipped. So thanks so much for joining. I'm going to stay on and do some live answers to questions for just a minute, if there are any, but I'm going to stop the recording. Hopefully I get to meet you guys and work with you soon. Take care. Okay, recording has stopped. If anybody has any questions, don't hesitate to type them in. Somebody has texted in and said, if someone asks you how Pure compares to Juice Plus and why should they switch, what is your response? So my biggest response, and I'm not even going to talk about Juice Plus specifically, is that if you can't tell when you take your supplements and you can't tell when you don't take your supplements, you probably should take a look. There's a lot of people buying a lot of stuff that they don't take them with them when they travel. Okay, so we didn't take our Pure with us when we first started, when we went to see my mom in North Carolina, and oh my gosh, there was no pooping, there was no sleeping. My husband was like the Incredible Hulk on the way home, and we're like, we didn't take our Pure. Now we go nowhere without our Pure. I can tell, I work out every single morning. I can tell when I don't take my sulfur in the morning. My nose starts running. Your nose running when you're like breathing a million miles an hour, like in working, it's not good. Okay, I can tell when I don't take my products. My mood isn't good. My sleeping isn't good. Like it's a daily thing. So if you're taking supplements and you can't tell when you take them and you can't tell when you don't, you should probably consider 30-day satisfaction guarantee. You have nothing to lose, nothing to lose. Okay. So that would be my answer to that one. Somebody's asking online. There's the family packages for 4 people. So if there's more than 4 people in your household, whether you're interested in the business or not, I would highly recommend the family pack because you get $1,500 worth of free product in there, especially if you get the use the coupons, which we can get you one of these coupons. Pack for the reset is the Reset Plus. That's my favorite. There's 3 actual reset packs. There's the Ultimate Reset, which actually is in the same price range as the family pack. So that's a really great package. I think it's $24.99. And then again, you can get the 20% off. And so that really gives a lot of the products that are in the family pack, but also includes everything in the Ultimate Reset or the Reset Plus. So that's a great package as well. So you can type reset in the search box, but again, make sure you get back to the person who invited you so you can get a coupon code to use at checkout so that you can get that 20% off. Okay. Again, I'm just going to look online really quick to see if there's any comments or questions. It looks like we got everything answered. So we're good. All right. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, get back to the person who invited you. livepure.com to place your order, purelifechangers.com to get answers to your questions, and be sure to be asked to be added to Changing Lives with Pure. Okay. I'll be live again tomorrow at noon, guys.